Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Gonna read through, I believe, the full article here. There's a link in the description. The headline tells us that straight people are being excluded from a West Hollywood guaranteed income program. So I'll just give you a bit of an overview to begin with. The city of West Hollywood, which is a government department, if I understand correctly, that's a local government, a council department, if I understand correctly. They're having a guaranteed income program. So a UBI, a universal basic income, although scrap the universal part, it's only for certain people. And that does not include straight people. So yes, so those like myself, that's a cis male, a straight male. I would not be able to get this $1,000 a month payment, which is going to be paid from April 2022 through to September 2023. I would not be eligible for such a free payment because I like vaginas. I'm sorry, guys. So that's what's happening here. So let's have a look at little bits and pieces of this article. Community members who are interested in applying for the West Hollywood pilot for guaranteed income must reside in the area. That's very reasonable. In the city of West Hollywood. They must also be 50 years or older. And obviously, they must identify as being LGBTQIA and have an individual income of $41,400 or less. Okay, so if you want to get $1,000 for free every month for 18 months, something like that, April 2020 through to September 2023, give or take 18 months. If you want that money, then you have to meet these requirements, which again is very reasonable, that you would need to reside in the local area. The age, okay, they've got the age for some reason, 50 years of age or over. Not quite sure why, but perhaps they have their reasonings. And have an individual income of 41,400 or less. Well, that kind of makes sense to me. I believe that would be a relatively low income, I believe. So that kind of makes sense. You wouldn't want to give $1,000 payment to multimillionaires. That would make no sense. How is that going to help evaluate this pilot? It's a pilot. It's a trial in order to try to understand how. Well, I'm guessing as to what they're trying to understand, but my guess would be the repercussions of giving out $1,000 to certain people. They're trying to figure out what the repercussions of that would be, how much it would benefit the individual, how much it would benefit the local community. That makes sense to me. The part which doesn't make sense to me, nor does it make sense to the writer of this article, John Nolte from Breitbart, who offers a little bit of his commentary. Oh, beg your pardon, I've assumed he's a he. Perhaps he isn't. The part that I object to is the LGBTQIA requirements. I mean, whatever you're trying to study, why does it have to be delineated by their sexual preference? I don't get it. I just don't see the reasoning of that. Why not include straight people? Why purposefully and singularly exclude straight people, cis people? Why do that? That seems ever so discriminatory to me. But who am I? I'm just some fucking idiot white cis male. What do I know? How am I supposed to understand things such as discrimination just because... how can I understand discrimination when I'm white and cis and male? I obviously can't comprehend such concepts adequately because I read this and I think this is discriminatory. By the way, I'm just going to proudly show my awareness of the anagram here. Anagram? Whatever. LGBTQIA, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, or maybe transgender, I don't know, something tranny orientated, queer, intersex, and asexual. Do you know what intersex means? Well, let me tell you. Intersex, it's a broad term, but it includes those people that who biologically or physically their gender is ambiguous. So it would include hermaphrodites, but not only hermaphrodites. There may be, let's say as an example, there may be a man who has breasts or something like that. A man who has some other feminine features. So it puts them in a position where their sexuality is ambiguous. That's intersex. Asexual, what does that mean? Well, let me educate you. Asexual is when the person concerned isn't attracted to any other sex. They're not attracted to other people, basically, or animals. I think asexuals would. Hang on, furries. I'm not sure. I don't know where the F is for the furries. Anyway. So, if you are a straight and you're not a member of LGBTQIA, you shouldn't bother applying to receive the unconditional monthly $1,000 payment because you won't get it. There's really that subject. That's really that subject. We don't need to go into every last detail here. What's your thought on it? My thoughts are, this is a government organisation, as the article writer points out. He does highlight the fact that this is a government program. A local government program, sure, but it's a government program. So the real question is this discriminatory? And do you wish for your government, be that local or federal, to be discriminatory? And I think the answers would clearly be yes, obviously it's discriminatory. It's purposefully and again singularly excludes straight people. There are other things that it restricts as well. There's that age requirement. But it singularly restricts straight people, so that is discriminatory. And do you want your government bodies to be discriminatory? No. I mean, if we're against discrimination, then the answer has to be no. But they are. This is an example of government being discriminatory. This is one example. There are other examples. Your local universities likely strongly favour those that come from an African American background, and they punish those with that are from a white or Asian background. Those are government sanctioned forms of discrimination. So this isn't the only example, but anyway, I've gotten bored of this subject, so I'm going to wrap things up here. If you do like this, give me a comment. Come on, give me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and I'll thank you for your time.